Typhoon-class submarine. The Typhoon class was a type of nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine that served in both the Soviet and Russian navies from 1981 to 2023. They were the largest and most powerful submarines ever constructed, capable of carrying 20 intercontinental ballistic missiles and staying submerged for months at a time. But they were also expensive to operate and maintain, so they became obsolete after the end of the Cold War. The Typhoon class was gradually phased out by the newer and smaller Boryai-class submarines, which use more advanced equipment. The last remaining Typhoon, Dmitry Donskoy, was officially decommissioned in February of 2023 after serving as a test platform for the Bulava missile. The fate of the decommissioned Typhoons is now uncertain. They're currently stored at a naval base located in Severodvinsk, along with 2 other units from the same project. The disposal of these massive subs is a complex and pricey process, involving the removal and disposal of the nuclear reactors and the missiles on board. There are also several environmental and security concerns, since the submarines could pose a threat of radioactive contamination. There have been some proposals to convert the Typhoons for civilian or scientific uses like underwater hotels, research stations, or museums. The first submarine of the class, the K-3, was meant to be turned into a museum ship in St. Petersburg, but the project was stalled because of economic reasons and the opposition of some ecological organizations. The Typhoon class was a remarkable achievement of Soviet engineering and a symbol of nuclear deterrence in the Cold War. They inspired popular culture like the novel and film The Hunt for Red October, but they are now relics of a past era, awaiting their final destination. Ghost Station in Antarctica. Antarctica, the world's most southernmost continent, is home to many abandoned research stations that have earned the moniker Ghost Stations. These stations, once full of scientists and researchers, now stand deserted, silent amidst the icy wilderness. One of these stations is the Halley 6 Research Station, located on the Brunt Ice Shelf. It was designed to be used year-round, but due to fears over cracks in the ice shelf, the station was evacuated during the Antarctic winters in recent years. Despite the absence of human life, the station continues to function, running climate, ozone, and space weather measurements autonomously. The station's operation is possible thanks to the Halley Automation Project, which lets the station run entirely by itself during the long, dark winter months. The core of the automation platform is a micro-turbine installed in a temperature-controlled container, which runs on an autonomous fueling system. Another notable abandoned station is the abandoned Soviet research station called Leningradskaya, located in the Victoria Land region. It has not been used for decades, but it still stands as a relic of the USSR. Deception Island holds tales of explorers, scientists, and dreamers, and is often described as a time capsule of Antarctica's history with humans. It was virtually abandoned overnight, with buildings now frozen in time. These ghost stations continue to contribute to science. They serve as a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge, even in the face of extreme conditions. They remind us of the incredible importance of scientific exploration, especially in environments deemed too unsafe for human researchers. A secret Japanese camp. In the thick forests of British Columbia, a hidden Japanese settlement was discovered. The first signs of this settlement were spotted in 2004, when a few old cans and a saw blade were dug up from the earth. Initially, it was thought to be an old logging camp, but further investigations revealed a deeper story. Over the course of 14 years, an archaeology professor named Robert Muckle and his team excavated over 1,000 different items from the site. These artifacts paint a vivid picture of a forgotten Japanese settlement. Among the items were rice bowls, sake bottles, teapots, pocket watches, buttons, and fragments of Japanese ceramics. The site also held remnants of 14 small houses, a garden, a wood-lined water reservoir, and what looked to have been a shrine. A bathhouse, an integral part of the Japanese culture, was also spotted. The settlement is nestled in the Lower Seymour Conservation Reserve, about 12 miles northeast of Vancouver. It is believed that the site eventually transitioned from a logging camp to a village, likely inhabited by a small community of Japanese who lived there secretly. The first major wave of Japanese immigration to Canada started in 1877, with many settling in British Columbia. The discovery of this hidden settlement offers a glimpse into the lives of early Japanese immigrants. It tells a story of resilience and adaptation, of a community that carved out a life for themselves in the wilderness, away from the prying eyes of society. This settlement is a silent witness to a chapter of history that was almost forgotten. The artifacts and structures left behind serve as a reminder of these immigrants' presence, their culture, and their contribution to the history of British Columbia. The discovery has opened up new avenues for research and shed light on the rich tapestry of multicultural history in Canada. It underscores the importance of archaeological exploration in uncovering hidden chapters of the past and preserving them for future generations. Would you ever explore an abandoned town if given the chance? Let us know in the One Missile Complex. The Titan I Missile Complex in Aurora, Colorado, is a remarkable monument from the Cold War period. It was one of the earliest intercontinental ballistic missile sites established by the United States. The missile, measuring 98 feet in length and powered by kerosene and liquid oxygen, was engineered to move nuclear warheads. In Colorado, there are 6 former Titan I missile complexes, with 4 on the former Lowry bombing and gunnery range to the east of Aurora. These complexes were deactivated and their missiles were removed back in 1965. Later on, these sites were taken over by public and private entities. Titan I Missile Site 1, Complex 1C, is positioned 14 miles to the east of Aurora, Colorado, within Arapahoe County, and covers an area of 211 acres. In August of 1965, the Department of Defense declared the site surplus to the General Services Administration. The process of dismantling the Lowry Air Force Base Titan missile silos was taken on by the Mid-Continent Construction Company of Salt Lake City, Utah in March of 1966. In March of 1969, the site was handed over to the Falcon Research and Development Company. Falcon's operations primarily involved conducting research and engineering projects for the government, with the Department of Defense being their main client. The majority of Falcon's research activities at Complex 1C were explosive tests. In March 1988, Applied Research Associates, Inc. entered a lease agreement for the purposes of storing, assembling, manufacturing, and testing explosive equipment. ARA's work at Complex 1C was conducted on behalf of the Department of Defense and aerospace companies. The Titan I complexes were the first fortified missile sites, designed to withstand everything but a direct nuclear attack. The 2-stage missiles were stored in subterranean silos and were capable of elevating to ground level for launch. These complexes are symbols of the technological progress and geopolitical tensions of the Cold War. They remind us of the significant resources and efforts put into the arms race. Today, they offer a unique insight into a pivotal historical period, with their quiet structures narrating tales of a time when the world was on edge of nuclear war. The Titan I Missile Complex in Aurora, Colorado, plays a crucial role in this narrative, standing as a silent sentinel, bearing witness to the complexities and contradictions of the Cold War era. Bus 142. Chris McCandless was a young American hiker who passed away in the Alaskan wilderness back in 1992. His body was later discovered inside an abandoned bus, which was popularized by John Krakauer's book Into the Wild and the movie adaptation. The bus, known as Fairbanks Bus 142 or the Magic Bus, was originally used by construction workers during the 1960s. It was left behind after the completion of a mining road known as the Stampede Trail. After McCandless's death, the bus became a popular pilgrimage site for hikers and adventurers who wanted to retrace the man's inspiring steps. But the journey to the bus was dangerous, and many people got lost, injured, or even killed while trying to reach it. In fact, at least 2 people died trying to get to the bus after McCandless's death. The bus also became a popular tourist attraction, with many people going out to visit it each year. But the bus also caused a lot of chaos and controversy. In 2019, a woman from Belarus was rescued while trying to get to the bus and later charged with trespassing. In the same year, a newlywed woman from Louisiana passed away while trying to cross the Teclanica River on her way to the site. These incidents, along with others, prompted the Alaskan authorities to remove the bus in 2020 in an expensive endeavor dubbed Operation Utan. The removal of the bus was met with several mixed reactions, with some people arguing that it was an important historical artifact that should have been preserved. The abandoned bus where McCandless was found caused a lot of stress over the years. While it became a popular pilgrimage site and attraction, it also led to many accidents and deaths. The removal of the bus marked an end of an era and sparked a debate about the preservation of historical artifacts. North Carolina's abandoned buses. North Carolina is home to many abandoned buses that have become popular attractions over the years. One of these buses is the Hippie Bus in the town of Bryson City. The bus was originally used as a school bus and was later converted into a mobile home by a small group of hippies in the 1970s. The bus is now covered in graffiti and has become a popular spot for photographers and tourists. Another abandoned bus in North Carolina is called the Ghost Bus in the town of Cedar Island. It was first a school bus and was later abandoned on the side of the road. Over the years, it has become a well-known spot for ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts who believe the site is haunted. The Big Red Bus is abandoned in the town of Wilmington. The bus was originally used as a city bus and was later left in a field. It has since become a popular spot for photographers and urban explorers who are drawn to its unique appearance. Finally, the bus graveyard in the town of Salisbury is a collection of abandoned buses that have been left to rust and decay. The buses were originally used by the Carolina Coach Company and were later left to rot after the company went bankrupt. The bus graveyard has become a popular spot for urban explorers drawn to the eerie atmosphere of the place. While some of these buses have a rich history, others have simply been left to rust and decay, serving as a reminder of the passage of time and the impermanence of human creations. The Rozelle Tram Depot. In Sydney, Australia, the Rozelle Tram Depot was first established in 1904 and employed over 650 people at its peak. During operation, Sydney's tram network was one of the biggest and most technologically sophisticated in the whole world. Its tram depot was the second largest on the Sydney network. The final tram in Sydney ran on February 25, 1961, since use declined after World War II. 1861 saw the debut of Sydney's first tram line. From the former Sydney railway station down Pitt Street to Circular Quay, a horse-drawn carriage service was made available. The next tram line in Sydney was part of the Sydney International Exposition in 1879. The steam tramway, which was initially meant to be a temporary remedy for the fair, serviced the Royal Botanic Garden region. It was a huge hit, though, and during the 1880s and 1890s, the tram system quickly spread across the city and inner suburbs. A Baldwin locomotive with a single or double-deck carriage made up the steam trams. About 100 of the Baldwin steam trains were shipped to the New South Wales government tramways after being imported from the States. Using a power supply system derived from the New York City subway, the Sydney tram was electrified in 1898, and the whole network was electrified by 1910. On April 17, 1904, the Rozelle Tram Depot in Glebe finally opened for business. There were 96 carriages at initial capacity. In 1907, an addition brought this number up to 125. By 1918, the depot was home to about 200 tram carriages. Sydney's tram system was doomed by its success because of its widespread use. In 1945, the service carried about 405 million passengers. Sydney's streets were heavily congested thanks to overcrowding on the trams and a rise in the number of cars and buses on the road. The tram system deteriorated due to a lack of available maintenance throughout the war. The state government made the decision to stop the system altogether since it was no longer financially feasible to operate. Thanks for watching this video about abandoned vehicles and bases. We hope you enjoyed exploring these forgotten relics of the past. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let us know in the comments below and subscribe. See you next time. Bye for now.